In this city, you can become a millionaire overnight or disappear before sunrise. Los Angeles, the city the world worships. The city of Hollywood, luxury cars, perfect beaches, and endless sunshine. But behind the palm trees and movie studios hides another Los Angeles. A city divided by fear. A city where entire neighborhoods became war zones. Where helicopters circled the sky every night. Where gunshots became background noise. And where two colors turned into symbols of death. Red and blue. For decades, gangs controlled the streets of Los Angeles stronger than the police. They made millions from drugs, robberies, extortion, illegal weapons, and fear itself. Entire blocks belonged to gangs. Kids were recruited before they even became teenagers. And crossing the wrong street wearing the wrong color could get you killed in seconds. This is the dark story of the City of Angels. The story Hollywood tried to hide. Los Angeles sells the world a dream, a perfect fantasy. Beverly Hills, luxury mansions, movie stars, private parties hidden behind giant gates. Every year, millions of people come here hoping to change their lives forever. Some want fame, some want money, some want a second chance. And for a few people, that dream actually comes true. But just minutes away from Rodeo Drive, another reality begins. South Central, Compton, Watts. Neighborhoods where poverty shaped generations, places abandoned by the system long before gangs ever appeared. Factories closed, jobs disappeared, families collapsed, and entire communities were left alone with violence, drugs, and survival. For many young people growing up there, gangs became more than crime. They became protection, identity, family, and power. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, Los Angeles was already struggling with racial tension and police brutality. Many black communities felt completely abandoned, and out of that chaos, street gangs began to grow faster than ever. Then came the Crips, a gang that started small, but quickly became one of the most feared organizations in Los Angeles. Their reputation spread through violence, beatings, robberies, shootings, intimidation. More and more neighborhoods fell under their control. Smaller gangs either joined them or became targets. And eventually, several rival groups united together to fight back. That alliance became known as the Bloods. Blue against red. Crips against Bloods. A war that would define Los Angeles for decades. The streets became battlefields. Walls were covered in gang graffiti marking territory. Hand signs became a language. Even music, clothing, and the way someone walked could identify what side they belonged to. And once the crack cocaine epidemic exploded during the 1980s, everything became even worse. The drug trade transformed gangs into multi-million-dollar street empires. Crack spread across Los Angeles like wildfire, and gangs controlled almost every part of it. Street corners became drug markets operating day and night. Teenagers carried weapons larger than themselves. Lookouts watched for police from rooftops. Money flowed through neighborhoods flooded with violence. Some gang members were making thousands of dollars every single day. Luxury cars appeared in places where people could barely afford food, but the money came with blood. Every neighborhood meant business. Every street meant profit, and gangs killed to protect that territory. Drive-by shootings became a terrifying symbol of Los Angeles. Cars would slowly roll through enemy neighborhoods late at night. Windows lowered, gunfire exploded, then silence. Sometimes the targets were gang members. Sometimes innocent people were caught in the middle. Children, families, store owners. Nobody was completely safe. At the peak of gang violence, Los Angeles looked less like a modern American city and more like an active war zone. Police helicopters constantly circled overhead. Sirens echoed all night long. People learned to drop to the floor when they heard gunshots. And despite all the violence, gangs continued growing. Because for many young people, the streets offered something the system never did. Respect, money, protection, belonging. The LAPD responded aggressively. Mass arrests, militarized raids, special anti-gang units. Entire neighborhoods were flooded with police patrols, but many residents believed the police treated everyone like criminals. Tension between the streets and law enforcement became explosive. And eventually, everything boiled over. In 1992, 4 LAPD officers were caught on camera brutally beating a black man named Rodney King. The footage shocked America. But when the officers were acquitted, Los Angeles erupted. The riots that followed became some of the most destructive in American history. Buildings burned across the city. Stores were looted. People were attacked in the streets. Gunfire echoed through entire neighborhoods. The city completely lost control. For days, Los Angeles looked like a collapsing country at war with itself. More than 60 people died. Thousands were injured, and billions of dollars in damage covered the city. The riots exposed the truth the world rarely saw. Behind Hollywood's glamorous image was a city filled with anger, inequality, violence, and decades of pain. Over time, Los Angeles slowly changed. Police strategies improved, crime rates dropped. Some gangs weakened, others evolved into organized criminal networks connected to trafficking and prison gangs. But gang culture never disappeared. It became part of music, movies, fashion, and global pop culture. Artists from Los Angeles turned street reality into music that reached the entire planet. Gangsta rap was born from real streets, real violence, real fear, and real stories. The world listened to songs about Compton and South Central, while the people living there were still trying to survive. Even today, Los Angeles remains a city of impossible contrasts. One street is filled with supercars and celebrity mansions. The next is filled with homeless encampments and police sirens. Dreams and destruction exist side by side. That's what makes Los Angeles different from every other city in the world. It can make you famous, it can make you rich, and it can completely destroy you. Los Angeles is called the City of Angels. But for decades, those streets were painted in only 2 colors: red and blue. And maybe that darkness is exactly what turned Los Angeles into a legend. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel. There are many more stories ahead about cities hiding realities far darker than the postcards people see.